I should have walked away the moment he smiled at me. That damn smile, confident. Careless. Like he already knew I was his. What he didn't know was that I wasn't here to help him build anything. I was sent to destroy it. It was supposed to be simple. Walk in. Pretend to be the new intern. Take notes. And in 3 weeks hand over the report that would end his project. The very thing he had poured his soul into for years. Cold. Efficient. Professional. That was the plan. But plans have a way of shattering the second real life and real people get involved. His name was Adrian West, the golden boy of urban design. A man who believed he could rebuild forgotten neighborhoods with glass, steel, and a kind of stubborn hope most people stopped believing in after college. He was relentless, sharp, unyielding. The kind of man who turned every meeting into a rallying cry and every blueprint into a love letter to the future. And for some twisted reason, he thought I was his intern. Coffee runs aren't part of your job. He told me the first day, smirking as I awkwardly clutched the Starbucks order I thought he wanted. But if you insist on spoiling me, I won't complain. That was Adrian. Teasing. Disarming. Effortlessly charming. The kind of boss who made you forget he was technically the enemy. I wasn't supposed to like him. I wasn't supposed to notice the way his sleeves rolled up to reveal tanned forearms flecked with pencil marks. Or how he chewed on his lip when his designs didn't line up just right. I wasn't supposed to care that his office smelled faintly of cedar and ink. Or that he stayed late every night because he believed in something bigger than himself. But the truth is, from the very beginning, Adrian West made it impossible not to care. The first week was hell. He dragged me into meetings, made me pitch ideas I had no business pitching. And once, when I stumbled over my words, he leaned so close that his whisper brushed my ear. Don't apologize. Own the room. My stomach had flipped so hard I thought he must have noticed. He didn't. He just smiled and moved on, completely unaware of the fire he was setting inside me. Every night I told myself to remember why I was there. The company wanted his project dead. They wanted his dream bulldozed because it was bleeding money and pissing off investors. And I, Nathan Kolua's their hatchet man. Hidden behind polite smiles and fake credentials. I was supposed to be his silent executioner. But Adrian never let me stay silent. One evening, as the office emptied out, he caught me staring too long at a model of the new community center he was designing. You see it, don't you? He asked, eyes burning like he could will me into agreement. See what? My voice came out sharper than intended. Defensive. The future, he said simply. The kids running through that courtyard. Families eating together on those benches. People who've been forgotten finally having a place that feels like theirs. You see it too, don't you? God help me. I did. And that terrified me. Because how do you destroy something that beautiful once you've let yourself believe in it? The tension between us grew with every passing day. Thick enough to choke on. He trusted me. Of all people, with his ideas, his sketches, his sleepless confessions about doubting himself. And somewhere in between the late nights and early mornings, I started giving pieces of myself back. I told him about my brother in Chicago, about the way my mother used to tape our report cards to the fridge, about the emptiness of working for a company that measured success only in profit margins. Adrian listened. Really listened. No one had done that in a long time. Then came the night it all cracked open. A storm had rolled in, rattling the windows of the office as rain smeared the city lights into blurred streaks of gold. We were the last ones there, hunched over blueprints under the harsh glow of desk lamps. I reached across the table to grab a marker, and my hand brushed his. Just a simple accident. But Adrian froze. his eyes flicking up to mine, searching. For one breathless moment, the storm outside didn't matter. The deadlines, the lies, the report waiting on my laptop, all of it vanished. There was only him, close enough that I could see the flecks of green hidden in his brown eyes, close enough that I could feel the warmth radiating from his skin. Nathan, he whispered, my name breaking on his lips like it had been waiting there for weeks. And I should have pulled away. I should have reminded myself why I was here. Instead, I leaned in, and the world tilted. His lips were warm, insistent, and for a few reckless seconds, I let myself drown in him. The storm rattled the glass like a warning, but Adrian's hand had already found the back of my neck, pulling me closer, pulling me into a world where nothing else mattered. Then reality crashed back. My report, the company, the truth he didn't know. I broke away, breathless. Adrian. He looked at me with those eyes, raw and unguarded, and I couldn't do it. Not yet. Not when he was finally letting me in. But secrets have sharp edges. And mine was about to cut us both open. The following week was torture. Every time he leaned over my shoulder, every time his laughter filled the room, I thought about how it would sound when he realized who I really was. I tried to tell myself to keep my distance, but it was already too late. I had memorized the sound of his voice, the smell of cedar and ink on his clothes, the way he carried a dream like it was both a burden and a gift. The deadline came faster than I wanted. My report was finished. A cold, clinical document condemning Adrian's project as unprofitable and unsustainable. All I had to do was press send. But my hands wouldn't move. Instead, I found myself at his apartment that night. He opened the door, surprised but not unhappy. His hair messy, his shirt half-buttoned like he'd been working late again. Nathan. His smile faltered. What's wrong? I stepped inside, my heart pounding. There's something I need to tell you. And then I told him everything. The room grew silent except for the rain outside. Adrian's face hardened, his jaw tight as if he was holding himself together by sheer force. So this entire time, he said slowly, you were just spying on me, playing intern while you sharpened the knife. I didn't want to, but you did. His voice cracked, and somehow that was worse than if he'd yelled. You walked in here knowing you were going to destroy the only thing I've ever believed in. I reached for him, but he stepped back. You don't get to touch me, he whispered. The door closed behind me with a finality that felt like a verdict. The days that followed were hollow. Couldn't eat. Couldn't sleep. The report sat unsent, haunting me. Adrian stopped coming to the office, and the space without him was unbearable. I had done what I came to Dobroken him, but the victory felt like ash in my mouth. It was my brother who finally snapped me out of it. Over the phone, he said, if you believe in what he's doing, why the hell are you letting other people decide for you? And maybe it was that simple. Maybe for once, I had to stop being the company's obedient tool and start being my own man. The next morning, I walked into the boardroom with Adrian's blueprints tucked under my arm. The executives looked bored, impatient, waiting for me to deliver the death sentence. Instead, I delivered fire. I spoke about Adrian's vision, about the neighborhoods that deserved more than another soulless strip mall, about the future that couldn't be measured in profit margins alone. I told them they were blind if they couldn't see it. And when I was done, I walked out before they could fire me. My heart was still pounding hours later when I showed up at Adrian's office. He was there, hunched over the model of the community center, looking exhausted, beaten down. What are you doing here? His voice was flat. I didn't send the report. I said. In fact, I told them they'd be idiots to kill this project. He blinked, disbelieving. Why? Because you were right. About everything. And because I'm in love with you, Adrian. I was too much of a coward to admit it before. But I can't lose you. Not like this. For a long moment, he just stared at me. Then, slowly, he shook his head, a disbelieving laugh slipping from his lips. You're an idiot, he said softly. Yeah, I agreed, stepping closer. But I'm your idiot, if you'll let me be. Adrian's eyes softened. The anger, the hurt, it was still there. But underneath it was something else. Something that looked a lot like hope. He let out a shaky breath and finally reached for me. His hand trembled as it brushed my cheek. But the warmth was still there. Steady and familiar. This project might still fall apart. He murmured. Then we'll fall apart together, I said. And when he kissed me this time, there was no storm outside. No lies between us, only the quiet certainty of something real, fragile, and worth fighting for. For the first time, I wasn't Nathan Cole, the corporate executioner. I was just a man in love, standing beside another man who refused to give up on his dreams. And maybe that was enough. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with the latest videos.